ലോകജാലകത്തിലൂടെ നമ്മുടെ ജീവിത പങ്കാളിയെ കണ്ടെത്താൻ
വേൾഡ് മാട്രിമോണി
3.2 Contemporary Principles of Management. Learning Objectives. 1. Recognize organization as social movements. 2. Understand the benefits of social networking. 3. Recognize learning organizations. 4. Understand virtual organizations. Corporation as social movements. Traditionally, we have thought of corporation as organizations that had clear boundaries, formal procedures, and well-defined authority structures. In contrast, social movements are seen as more spontaneous and fluid. The term social movement refers to a type of group action that is focused on specific political or social issues. Example include the civil rights movement, the feminist movement, and the gay rights movement. Leaders of social movement depend on charisma rather than authority to motivate participants to action. Contemporary management theory, however, is showing the lines between the two are blurring. Corporations are becoming more like social movements, and social movements are taking on more permanence just as companies are outsourcing specific jobs. Social movements can contract out tasks like lobbying and fundraising. Corporations can implement initiatives that mimic a social movement. Consider how the CEO of one bank described a program he introduced. The hierarchical management structure will give way to some collective activities that will improve our effectiveness in the marketplace. Decision won't flow from a management level to people on the line who are expected to implement those decisions. We're telling everyone choose a process, figure out what and where the problems are. Work together to come up with solutions and then put your solutions to work. Thus, more and more leading businesses are harnessing that mechanics of social movements to improve how they will manage their businesses in the future. Social networking. Social networking refers to systems that allow members of a specific site to learn about other members' skills, talents, knowledge, or preferences. Companies use this system internally to help identify experts. In the world at large, social networks are a group of individuals who share a common interest or passion. Poker players, dog lovers, high school alumni are a few examples of social network in action. In the corporate world, a social network is made up of individuals who share an employer and potentially other interests as well. But in the pre-internet age, managers lack the tools to recognize or detect the business value of in-house social networks. The company's softball team was a social network, sure, but what did that have to do with the bottom line? Today, social networks are starting points for corporate innovation, potentially limitless arrangement of individuals inspired by opportunities, affinities, or tasks. People feel better and work better when they belong to a group of other people like themselves. 2. This new attitude toward social networks in the workplace has been foiled by the growth of social networking sites like Facebook. Facebook was started by then college student Mark Zuckerberg in 2004 as a way of connecting a social network, specifically university students. Since then, Facebook has changed the way organizations connect as well. Some companies maintain a physical presence on Facebook that allows consumers to chime in about their passion or lack of them. For corporate offerings, news, and product, Starbucks has adopted this model, asking consumers to help them revive their product lines and image. As Zuckerberg told the Wall Street Journal, "We just want to share information more efficiently And in the information age, that what social networks do best. Companies are applying the online social networking model of open and closed groups to their corporate intranets, creating secure sites of employees in different locations to collaborate on projects based on common interest. Management directives and incentives, for example, IBM's Pilot Virtual World will let Big Blue employees use chat, instant messaging, voice communication program while also connecting to user-generated content in the public spaces of Second Life. Another large social networking site, IBM, also opened a virtual sales center in Second Life, and separately from the Second Life partnerships is building an internal virtual world where work groups can have meetings. The use of online social networking principles can open the door to outside collaboration. For example, Netflix offered $1 million reward to anyone in the company's social network of who could improve the algorithm that matches movie lovers to new titles they might enjoy. Companies like Procter and Gamble and Innocentive are tapping social networks of scientists to improve their products. Social network foiled by passion can help managers retain, motivate, and educate staff. They might even help Facebook Mark Zuckerberg with an in-house dilemma as his company grows. According to the Wall Street Journal, the world's most dynamic social networking site has little management experience. Learning organizations. In a 1993 article, Harvard Business School professor David Garvin defined a learning organization as an organization skilled at creating, acquiring, and transferring knowledge and at modifying its behavior to reflect new knowledge and insight. The 5 building blocks of learning organizations are: 1. Systematic problem solving. The company must have a consistent method for solving problems using data and statistical tools rather than assumption. 2. Experimentation. Experiments are a way to test ideas in small steps. Experiment let companies hunt for and test new knowledge such as a new ways of recycling waste or of structuring an incentive program. 3. Learning from past experience. It is essential for companies to review projects and products to learn what worked and what didn't. Boeing, for example, systematically gathered hundreds of lessons learned from a previous airplane models, such as the 737 and 747, which it applied to the 757s and 767s, making those the most successful error-free launches in Boeing history. 4. Learning from others, recognizing that good ideas come from anywhere, not just inside the company. Learning organization network with other companies in a continual search for good ideas to adapt and adopt. 5. Transferring knowledge. Sharing knowledge quickly throughout the organization is the way to make everyone in smart contributing members. Virtual organizations. A virtual organization is one in which employees work remotely, sometimes within the same city, but more often across the country and across national borders. The company relies on computers and telecommunications technologies instead of physical presence for communication between employees. Email, wikis, web meetings, IE like Webex or GoToMeeting, phone and internet relay chat, IRC, are used extensively to keep everyone in touch. Virtual companies present special leadership challenges because it's essential for leadership to keep people informed of what they are supposed to be doing and what other arms of the organization are doing. Communication in a commons area is preferable to one-on-one communication because it keeps everyone up to speed, and promotes learning across the organization. The value of Wikis provide a company with a number of benefits. Wikis full the talent of experts as well as everyone from across the company and beyond it in all time zone and geography location. Input from unanticipated people brings fresh idea and unexpected connection. Wikis let people contribute to a project anytime, giving them flexibility in managing their times. It's easy to see the evolution of an idea, and new people can get up to speed quickly by seeing the history of the project. Co-creation of solution eliminates the need to sell those solutions to get buy-in. Wikis cut the need for email by 75% and the need for meetings by 50%. With more and more companies outsourcing work to other countries, managers are turning to tools like Wikis to instructors project work globally. A wiki is a way for many people to collaborate and contribute to an online document or discussion. See the value of wikis. The documents remain available for people to access anytime. The most famous example is Wikipedia. And Wikified organization put information into everyone's hands. Managers don't just talk about empowering workers. The access to information and communication empowers workers directly. People who are passionate about an idea can tap into the network to make the idea happen. Customers too can rally around an issue and contribute their opinions. Many companies that are not solely virtual use the principles of a virtual organization as a way to structure the work of globally distributed teams. Verifone, one of the largest providers of electronic payment system worldwide, has development teams working on a software project around the world in what the company calls a relay race. The developers in Dallas working on a Rust project and sent unfinished work at quitting time to another development center in Laupaho'o, Hawaii. When the sun set there, the project is handed off to programmers in Bangalore, India for their work, and by morning it's back in Dallas. 16 are closer to completion. Similarly, Midwestern Paper Converting Machine Co. PCMC outsourced some design work to Chennai, India. Having US and Indian designer collaborate 24/7 has helped PCMC slash development costs and time, enabling the company to stay in business. According to the CEO Robert Chapman said, "We can complete and create great American jobs but not without offshoring." Virtual organization also pose management challenges. In practical terms, if everyone is empowered to be a decision maker but various people disagree, how can decision be made? If all workers can work at the times they choose, how can management be sure that workers are doing their work? As opposed to reading website for fun, shopping, or networking with friends, and that they are taking appropriate breaks from work to avoid burnout. There are also challenges related to the virtual environment depends on computers and web security. A takeaway: in today's fast-changing world, organizations are becoming more like social movements with more fluid boundaries, more participation and leadership across all levels. Social networks within corporations let employees find out about one another and access the people who have the skills, knowledge, or connection to get the job done. Continuous learning is important not just for individuals but for organizations as a whole to transfer knowledge and try out new ideas as the pace of change increases. Virtual organizations can speed up cycle time, but they pose new challenges for managers on how to manage remote workers, communication technologies, and the web let employees work from anywhere. around the corner or around the world and requires special attention to managing communication. Exercise 1. What commonalities do you see between organization and social movements? 2. How would you use a social network to solve a work-related task? 3. Why do social networks inspire employees? 4. How do social networks help manage their plans, organize, lead, and control? 5. What step would you take to help your organization become a learning organization? 6. What are the advantages of a virtual organization? 7. What aspect of POLC would be most likely to change based on what you have learned in this section? 8. 1. Davis, G.F., McAdam, D. Scott, W.R. and Salt, M.N., eds. 2005. Social Movements and Organization Theory, Cambridge Study in Continuous Politics, Cambridge, UK, Cambridge University Press, 283. 9. 2. Romler, L. 2007, July Corporate, Social Networking Updates and Definition of Women Groups, retrieved January 28, 2009.